Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When someone talks down to you, dismisses your idea in a meeting, undermines you in front of others, pulls your strings like you're a puppet they've owned for years, what do? If you're honest with yourself, you probably shrink, you rationalize, you tell yourself it's not worth the conflict. Maybe you even apologize. And later, alone, you replay the moment and finally think of everything you should have said. That delayed courage, that rehearsed anger in the mirror, that is the signature of someone who has not yet learned the most essential skill in human dynamics, the ruthless, cold-blooded neutralization of manipulation. This video is not a self-help video. I want to be very clear about that. Self-help tells you to heal, to communicate openly, to set boundaries with love. What I'm offering you today is something older, something colder. A strategic framework drawn from the darkest corners of philosophy, psychology, and power, refined over centuries by men and women who understood that the world does not reward the gentle, it rewards the prepared. By the end of this, you will know exactly how manipulation works, why it works on you specifically, and the precise 6-move sequence to dismantle it, without raising your voice, without burning bridges, and without ever showing your hand. Stay with me. This is your awakening. Philosophical foundation. Before we get tactical, we need to get philosophical. Because if you don't understand why people manipulate, you will always be one step behind them. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that the world is divided into two kinds of people, the lions and the foxes. The lions use force, the foxes use cunning. His conclusion, the one that made cardinals burn his books, was that the truly powerful must learn to be both. Most of you watching this are neither. You've been trained since childhood to be the sheep, to be agreeable, likable, non-threatening, and in doing so, you handed every fox in your life a map to your vulnerabilities. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the suppressed, unacknowledged parts of your psyche, the anger you don't express, the ambition you apologize for, the ruthlessness you pretend you don't have. Jung's radical insight was this: the shadow doesn't disappear when you repress it. It just goes underground, and other people use it against you. Manipulators are at their core shadow readers. They find what you're afraid to admit about yourself, your need for approval, your fear of conflict, your hunger for love, and they pull that thread until you unravel. The Stoics understood this centuries before Jung put a name to it. Epictetus, a man who was literally a slave, wrote that no one can harm you without your permission, not because harm isn't real, but because the degree to which someone can control you is always proportional to the degree to which your reactions are unguarded. What these three traditions converge on is a single, brutal truth. Manipulation only works on an unexamined mind. And today, we begin the examination. Move 1. Map the architecture of their game. The trap. Most people react to what a manipulator says. They argue with the words, defend against the accusation, or comply with the request, all of which are moves within the manipulator's frame. The moment you react, you've already lost. The strategy: before you respond to anything, build the map. Ask yourself, what does this person actually want? What emotion are they trying to trigger in me? What behavior are they trying to produce? Manipulators operate through a small set of mechanisms: guilt, fear, obligation, flattery, manufactured urgency. Name the mechanism to yourself silently before you speak. This is a guilt trip. This is a manufactured crisis. This is false flattery designed to make me compliant. The act of naming deactivates the emotional charge. It moves you from the limbic system, reactive, animal, to the prefrontal cortex, cold, strategic, executive. The result: you stop being played and start watching the play. You become the observer of a performance rather than a character in it. And from that position, calm, informed, unhurried, you have all the power. Move 2. Master the weaponized pause. The trap. Manipulators rely on tempo. They create urgency. I need an answer now. Everyone else has already agreed. If you don't decide today, because a rushed person is an exploitable person. Your impulse to fill silence, to resolve tension quickly, to be decisive, these are the levers they pull. The strategy. Silence is not passive. Silence is a weapon, and like all weapons, it requires discipline to wield. When pressure is applied, do not respond immediately. Breathe, make eye contact. Let the silence extend past the point of comfort, theirs, not yours. This serves 2 functions. First, it communicates that you cannot be hurried, which is itself a display of power. Second, it forces the manipulator to fill the silence, and when they do, they typically reveal more of their actual agenda. Machiavelli noted that the prince who can wait always defeats the prince who cannot. Time is the great neutralizer of manipulation. The result, you reframe the dynamic. You are no longer responding to their timeline. You are operating on yours. The psychological impact of this on a manipulator is significant. They typically escalate or retreat, and both moves tell you everything you need to know. Move 3. Reflect their tactics back without commentary. The trap. People who are being manipulated often feel the need to call it out, to say, "You're manipulating me," to accuse, to confront. This feels righteous. It is, strategically, a mistake. Direct accusation allows the manipulator to reframe themselves as the victim, to gaslight, to perform wounded innocence. The strategy. Instead of naming their tactic, mirror it. Ask the question they don't want to answer. Summarize their position in terms that expose its absurdity without editorializing. So what you're saying is, you need me to take responsibility for a decision you made. Is that right? This is the Socratic method stripped of its academic gentleness and sharpened into a blade. You are not accusing, you are clarifying, and clarity is the manipulator's enemy. The result, you create a mirror they cannot look away from. They must either defend an indefensible position, retreat, or drop the manipulation entirely. Any of these outcomes is a victory. Move 4. Starve the emotional reward system. The trap. Manipulation is a behavior that has been reinforced. Someone uses guilt on you and you comply, so they use it again. Someone gives you the silent treatment and you chase them, so they use it again. Every time you respond emotionally, you are feeding the system. The strategy: eliminate the reward, not through cruelty, but through disciplined non-reaction. This is where Jungian shadow work becomes practical. You must become genuinely comfortable with the discomfort that manipulators weaponize, comfortable with disapproval, comfortable with conflict, comfortable with being disliked. This is not indifference, it is immunity, and it is built, like all immunity, through controlled exposure to the pathogen. Practice this in low-stakes situations first. Let someone be disappointed in you and do not fix it. Let someone be angry and do not apologize. Let someone withdraw and do not pursue. Each time, you are demonstrating to your nervous system that these things are survivable, which they are. The result: the manipulator's toolkit becomes obsolete. They are playing a game whose emotional currency has been devalued to 0. At that point, they will either adapt, meaning the relationship will shift towards something more honest, or they will leave. Both outcomes serve you. Move 5. Position yourself at the center of your own narrative. The trap. Chronic manipulation victims share one psychological trait. They have allowed other people to author their story. They define themselves through others' opinions, others' needs, others' assessments of their worth. This outsourced identity is the foundation upon which all manipulation is built. The strategy. This move is internal,
which makes it the hardest and the most powerful. You must develop what the Stoics called the inner citadel, a stable, self-authored sense of identity that external forces cannot penetrate. This means knowing your values with precision, not the values you say you have, but the ones that govern your actual behavior. It means developing standards for your own conduct that do not shift based on social pressure. It means building a life that is, in its fundamentals, not hostage to anyone's approval. The cold truth is this: the reason manipulators can rewrite your story is because you haven't written it clearly enough yourself. Now you become governable. When someone attempts to define you through insult, through false narrative, through strategic misrepresentation, they are writing on water. The definition doesn't hold.